At order number 10, we'll dispose of Roman 1 and 2, Kara, which is time-bound. We need to finish up with it. Then CBK, Revenue Authority will be put off to next week. Fisheries will be stayed, but we'll come back to it later after disposing of order number 8 on sovereign wealth. So call out order number 9.
Order number 9, special motion, consideration of nominees for appointment as members of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Board.
Sirma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on the National Government Constituency Development Fund, in its report in the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as members of National Government Constituency Development Fund Board, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 17th of June, 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 15 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and Section 3 and 8 of Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of the following persons as members of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. That is 1, Komora Yvonne Susu; 2, Mayanga Yvonne Boyani; 3, Mutua Fidelis Kieti; and 4, Maurice Putita Kaga. Mr. Speaker, these members appeared before our committee, and they had been forwarded from your office after the deliberations in the Public Service Commission. Mr. Speaker, I put before this House the 4 members for consideration. I beg to move. And ask Seconder Muragara.
Gitonga Murugara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I rise to second this, I wish to say that, number 1, Honorable Srima and his committee continues to do a good job, and that in spite of the fact that CDF has nothing to do with the members of parliament, it is the lifeline of development, especially in the rural areas. Therefore, this House must make a very candid decision when it's required to do so under the Public Approvals Act. And this is one instance where we have to look at it. So, Honorable Speaker, with those remarks, I beg to second.
Order. Members on their feet, take your seats. Members on their feet. Bashir, take your seat. Order, Honorable Bashir. Honorable members, I propose the question at order number 9, which is that, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on the National Government Constituency Development Fund in its report on the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as members of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Board, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 17th June 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 15 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, this House approves the appointment of the following persons as members of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Board. Number 1, Komora Yvonne Nzunzu. 2, Manyaga Yvonne Boyani. 3, Mutua Fidelis Kieti. Number 4, Maurice Putita Kaaka. Do I put the question? I put the question? Yes. Ngogoye, what is it?
Mr. Speaker, this is a very important board. Mr. Speaker, I would want to contribute on it. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to be on record that I support the approval of this board as it has been proposed by the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, the elements of approval are: one, the national government Cap 414. And Mr. Speaker, all the 4 members have met the requirement of the national government NGCDF Cap 414. Number 2, the Public Parliamentary Approval Act. All the 4 members have met the requirement. Mr. Speaker, in Kajiado County, we have Maurice Putita Kaaka. Mr. Speaker, when I served as an MCA, this was the chief officer in the first county government. Mr. Speaker, sir, this member has met all the requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, there is a lady from Garsen. Mr. Speaker, one lady who is a graduate that has never had the opportunity to work in any other institution, Mr. Speaker, and has gotten the chance to serve in this NGCDF board. We have a lady from Nyamira. Why do you want to deny her an opportunity to serve? Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the governing instruments in NGCDF are 3. One,
Yes,
the public procurement.
Hold on, Gogoyo.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on a point of order on anticipation of debate. And I know Honorable Ngogoyo is rightly in his place to debate. But what Honorable Ngogoyo is saying is actually anticipating a decision of the House. And in second reading, you should be debating, not anticipating debate, because I don't know who he's talking to. But Honorable Speaker, also, maybe just to correct Honorable Ngogoyo in his contribution, that a board, unlike management, if you have not worked somewhere before, maybe even in your endeavor to support somebody, you may be saying things that may be pointing to another direction when you concede that someone has never worked anywhere before and is now being appointed into a board to superintend over people who have worked with NGCDF for very many years. So just to caution Honorable Ngogoyo on that.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion as it has been proposed. Mr. Speaker, I happen to have served in the County Assembly of Kajiado, worked with the chief officer.
You've already said that.
Yes, and Mr. Speaker, just allow me to finish. I will not offend you in any way. And Mr. Speaker, as one that believes in fairness and giving opportunity to everyone, I want to ask this House, let us approve these members. And specifically, because for the first time, we also have somebody from Kajiado, I would ask you to support this member. And let me say, the Honorable Ichongwa, you cannot teach me on how to do things. You do your things the way you want. Don't bring that thing of yours here. Mr. Speaker, with those very many remarks, I support the appointment of this board, and I want to see members that want to bring down an individual who has been supporting this government. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, KJ.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. I just wanted to say that you have a discretion, Mr. Speaker, according to our standing order number 1. And what you have done, Mr. Speaker, is first opened up this for a debate on how we are going to vote, Mr. Speaker. And we are not beyond that stage yet to get into the full debate on the veracity of the report brought to us and the qualifications of the people in the report. And I think the debate is totally out of order, Mr. Speaker, until you call for the debate for us to go into it. You are just asking how we want to vote on this report, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
KJ, the motion was moved and seconded, and I propose the question. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I stand to reject this motion. Yes. Mr. Speaker, you know, this is a house of debate. I can see there is one member who's very qualified. That is true. Mr. Maurice Potita Kaaka. He's also known to me and he's qualified. But that does not make the whole list okay. Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important board to this country. This is a board that is going to manage and handle 65 billion Kenya shillings on behalf of Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. We must have the most competent people on this board. Secondly, this house is not a conveyor belt. We have to scrutinize whatever we are passing in this house. And don't come here with a mindset that whatever is presented on the plenary must pass. No, we also have the constitutional mandate to reject it if we feel so. So I want to urge my colleagues, members, this thing requires more scrutiny, more consultation. It requires for us to consider people of high integrity and people who can manage this fund in the best way that it can be done. With those reasons, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge my colleagues to reject it in total.
Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I also rise to reject this list. And I want to associate myself with the sentiments of my colleague and leader, Honorable Junet, that this House has a constitutional mandate to oversight the work of the executive and everybody in the executive. Honorable Speaker, in fact, I was, when I listened to my brother, Honorable Ngogoyo, I was tempted to even change my mind until he disclosed that there are people here who have never worked anywhere before. Then Honorable Ngogoyo disclosed that one of the people in this list has worked with the county government as a chief officer. Honorable Speaker, you know what happens between county governments and members of parliament with the NGCDF. We must be certain that the people we approve in this board are people who are beyond reproach. Beyond reproach. Honorable Speaker, I know some of us are tempted many a times to speak to the gallery. And that is why you see the anger in which Honorable Ngogoyo is exhibiting today. It's probably because the people he follows, the day before yesterday, told their thuggish supporters not to appear in the streets, and that is why we have had very peaceful processions. And I join many Kenyans in remembering those who lost life and those who lost property 2 years ago and last year. And let me also use this platform, Honorable Speaker, to say, as much as it annoys the member for Kajiado North, when the people he follows in Wamonyoro, the day before yesterday, asked their supporters, what he called his supporters, it is now clear who the owner of the violence that was visited on people's properties is. It is now clear.
Yes, Honorable Ngogoyo, what is it?
Speaker, I rise understanding order 106 on relevance. Mr. Speaker, what does the issue of NGCDF have to do with Wamonyoro? And what is Wamonyoro? What is it that you're talking? What is that? How is that relevant to NGCDF board? Mr. Speaker, I ask for your indulgence, Mr. Speaker, so that this member remains relevant to the debate that we have. The member for Kikuyu, Mheshimiwa Anthony.
Go on. Give him the mic.
Honorable Speaker, you know, I said yesterday when the member for Manyata rose on standing order 105. And I see at least the member for Kajiado North has read one standing order. But I am obligated as his leader to continue educating him even on issues of relevance. This is how this debate is relevant to NGCDF. The police posts that were burnt last year in Dagoretti, my NGCDF office that was burnt the year before, the Dagoretti South NGCF office that was burnt the year before by the thuggish arsonists mobilized by those people who are calling off the same thuggish characters from the streets the day before yesterday. I was saying it is now clear to Kenyans who the owner of these thuggish arsonists Honorable Speaker, the leader of minority may inform me.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to inform my leader, the majority leader, that what he's saying about the offices that were burnt in Kikuyu, in Dagoretti South, the CDF offices, the police station, I am told that burning was instigated by a group called Wamunyoro. I wanted to inform him that.
Go on.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I've said, Honorable Speaker, you know, I've also had some people claiming that today is a public holiday. And you know, I just came from Bomas, Honorable Speaker, with His Excellency the President inspecting the work ongoing there, and people are working at Bomas. We are here because we are working and we must work. Therefore, what we are doing in considering this motion is what we are paid by the people of Kenya to do. And we must never use this floor to tell untruths, like the untruth the member for Kajiado North, Honorable Bongogoya, has told this House. Because this board had in place the Honorable Janet Teya, the former women rep for Kajiado, who has served in this board. So it is not true that this is the first person to serve in this board from Kajiado County. And we are not appointing members, we are not approving members into the NGCDF board. This is the national, not county, not regional, not ethnic board. This is an apolitical board of the National Government Constituency Development Fund that is superintending projects that we have allocated 61 billion shillings. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, this is a board that we should have an opportunity to reconsider. And should any of these people, Maurice Putita, Mutua, Fidelis Kieti, Yvonne Boyani, Yvonne Susu, want to make their way back, the process is open for any one of them to reapply. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, at this juncture, I strongly oppose. Put the question now. Put the question.
Yes, because who do you want to inform?
Honorable Speaker.
Order, because
she wants to inform me.
Who do you want to inform?
I'll allow her to inform me if she wants.
Order, hold on. Majority leader is no longer on the floor, so you can't inform him. Order. Order. Order, Honorable Fatuma. Honorable Fatuma, you can't be on a misadventure to inform everybody. Honorable Bukose is on a point of order, so he has not even said anything worth being informed about. Yeah, Bukose?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you know we had, I stand under Standing Order 95, that the mover be called to reply. I think the only person supporting this motion is Honorable Ngogoyo for his space reasons. And the Honorable Lea will allow her to support. And Sunguya, I think that will go into note. But allow us, Honorable Speaker, that the mover be called to reply.
I will call the mover, but let me hear Sunguya for a minute. Lea for a minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
I stand to support the appointment of this nominee, and especially Maurice Kaka. It is true, he's a Kenyan, he's a very competent nominee, that I knew him for many years, that he came from my constituency, our ward, the location that I also sit as a member of parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, as the committee has approved there before, I urge this House that this guy is a very competent nominee that should not be rejected in this house, because he's the supporter also of this government, and he's a very, very competent person. So in any case, all of us, at the end of
Honorable
that
Fatima, what is out of order?
event, we are all voters.
Hold
so,
on,
Honorable Speaker.
For that,
Sunguya, hold your horses.
Honorable Speaker, this is what has been itching me. Honorable Speaker, that honorable member there had just mentioned that that person is a supporter of this government. My honorable member, he again repeats the same thing. This house does not reward those who support the government or does not support the government. We will pass it on merit, not who you support. So I think that should be clear. Because even in Migori, there are men and women who can be given that position. After all, 101%. We support honorable we support the president, but we have not been rewarded. It means this house does not reward. So if that is the reason why you want us to pass, in advance I may say I reject it.
Sunguya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Make your point.
Although, so myself, I'm just argued the House to support, to approve this nominee because he's competent and he has all right and to be heard and approved. Mr. Speaker, it should not be rejected as a House. I argue the House to approve this nominee. Thank you.
Kainan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to say two things, and you are living testimony of this. This House has fought for two things. From 1963 to 1989, Parliament was under state capture, and you know it. We did two things. These two things must always be protected jealously. One was the enactment of the CDF Act by Engineer John Karue. And the other was the formation of PSC. These two entities, CDF, yes, we say is independent, but at the end of the day, for those of us who are in Parliament, and you know it, we used to say members of Parliament got their independence, immediately CDF Act was enacted. You know what I'm talking about. If you wanted the slightest thing in your constituency, you had to go and kneel. And therefore, those who are appointed to this, those who have been appointed to this, must be people who will understand the history, the function, and the geography of CDF. We cannot chance. And therefore, I stand here as one of the fathers of this House to totally reject this list and allow us to send it back to those who have ordered. Mr. Speaker, you can see when the chairman was moving, the Honorable Sirma here is a very astute member of Parliament. He was shy of action. He wasn't even sure whether to move the report or not. My friend here, the chairman of JLAC, he wasn't sure what to say. He was asked to second, and I could see he was mimicking. He wanted to say he opposes, but because of the procedures here, he had just to say he second. Therefore, this report must be rejected, and let's send it back to square one, so that we have people who can meet, who understand the tenets and the function of CDF. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I oppose this.
2 minutes, Leah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the report of the committee on the nomination of members to the NGCDF board. Mr. Speaker, the reason I support this report is because by the time the report goes to a committee stage and committee looks at it, and this is a procedural house, I believe all the relevant prerequisites have been taken into consideration. And Mr. Speaker, I believe that this report is good to be adopted by the House. Mr. Speaker, I want to speak of one Mr. Morris Kaaka Putita from Kajiado County, a civil servant that has worked before in this Republic of Kenya, a very competent Kenyan, and I want to confirm because the minority leader actually said among the 4 nominees, Morris is one competent and qualified person in that report. Mr. Speaker, it is unfortunate that today if this report fails, Morris will be a victim of circumstances of other people who are unqualified put in the same category with him. Mr. Speaker, I urge this House that in the recent future, I don't know whether it's possible to have to debate these reports person by person so that we can we can approve those people who qualify and those who do not qualify, Mr. Speaker, because I also respect this House and I respect the rule of law, so that next time we debate a person by person, so that qualified, Mr. Speaker, do not become victims of circumstances of other unqualified people put together in a report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to say that next time I know he will also go back and do the same application, and I hope that if his name comes again to this House will pass this name. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Tandaza. I let Tandaza contribute, then I call the mover to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In my capacity as the Vice Chairman of the NGCDF Committee, I stand to support this motion on 3 grounds. One, it is this House that passed that directors, the independent directors of the NGCDF board will have to go through the Public Service Commission. This is the first time, Honorable Speaker, that we are debating, discussing directors of NGCDF having gone through the Public Service Commission, unlike the previous directors that we've had to discuss here. 2, when we were looking at the qualifications of those 4 directors, they were in line with what we passed here in terms of what the act, that they need to be people with academic knowledge in law, accounting, and all that, and those are the qualifications that they have. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, for the history of NGCDF, even CDF before it became NGCDF, we've never had a director from Coast. I'm not talking about a tribe here. I'm talking about a region which is recognized in our constitution that for any appointments, there needs to be regional balance. This is the first time that we are having somebody from Coast region to sit in this board. For those reasons, Honorable Speaker, I support. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Musa Serima.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the members who have contributed to this motion. And Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply.
Order, DK, take your seat. Take your seat. I know, members. You know, in 1997, we had a motion here on land clashes. And there was a member from Kericho, I think, called Chebelion. He was in the committee, and he had signed to the report. When he saw the mood of the House, he nearly fainted. And he took off through the back door. And went and called the press and apologized for appending his signature to that report.